What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Corey, and today we are talking about a Jaguars win over in London. They played the Patriots, and they had a final score of 32-16, taking down Drake May. And yeah, I still got some concerns about this team. There is definitely some things we still need to work on, some efficiency, especially when it comes to play calling and coaching. The defense for sure, but there are a lot of positives as well. I think we're finally starting to click a little bit. There are some really good players that I think are starting to shine and starting to show what they can offer this team. But I'm still not convinced we're getting out of here above 500 this season. I mean, we're 2-5, which again, in the lower half of the NFL right now, we're not looking great, but we are not looking bad. Now today, I think we played possibly the worst team in the NFL. That was the Carolina Panthers to start the year. I want to say maybe now it is the New England Patriots, but they also don't have anything to really hang their hat on. They don't have any good players, really. They don't have any big name players, I should say. Their players are good, but they're in a rebuild. They're kind of expected right now to lose games because what they're trying to do is figure out who they're going to be going forward. So they don't have an identity. They don't have any franchise players at the moment. They're switching up their quarterback. They're switching up their offensive schemes. They're trying to rely on some players. Ramondre Stevenson is just coming back. So there is a lot of stuff going on with the Patriots for you to look at it and go, yeah, on paper, the Jaguars should win this game. And they did. They won the game, I want to say, pretty effectively, but there are definitely some concerns I have with the Jaguars, but let's look at a few player stats here first. I'm going to say Drake May for the Patriots. Let's look at the Patriots stuff first. Drake May had 26 37, 276, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's pretty efficient for a guy making his second start in the NFL as a rookie. Ramondre Stevenson, 18 yards rushing. Drake May also 18 yards rushing. So not great there. Hunter Henry, actually, for receiving yards, had 8 receptions for 92 yards. Hunter Henry is probably the best player on that team. They had Jermichael Hasty. He had about 50 yards on 5 catches. Kaylan Boutte, he did not do amazing. He had 33 yards on 1 catch. And then Austin Hooper, that was pretty much... KJ Osborne had a touchdown. I want to say Jermichael Hasty as well had a touchdown. But, those 2 touchdowns weren't enough for the Patriots to really make much of a statement. They did a couple silly things, kind of like going for 2 at the end of the game there. They really should have rode the momentum. In my opinion, it's much easier to go for 2 on the final score of the game to tie it up instead of doing it early, because there's something about the idea of having the chance that it goes wrong and trying to game plan for your other options early. Like, that just doesn't seem right to me. It doesn't feel like you've got the momentum, you've got the hot hand. Like, it feels one of those things like you're trying to plan for the worst case scenario in those situations. So not a great look for the Patriots there. But if you look over at the Jaguars stats, Trevor Lawrence 15-20, 193 and 1 touchdown. Now I'm going to talk about that because there's definitely some play calling issues that I have there. I don't know if it's Press Taylor. I don't know if it's Doug Peterson. But the Jaguars right now have this identity of playing just scared to lose games in the second half. And I want to say with about 3 minutes left in the third quarter, we were up 2 scores. I want to say 11 points or so. And it was just nothing but runs. And now I get it. Tank Bigsby's looking great. Tank is really like becoming a great player, but it annoys me that we have a franchise quarterback that is getting paid essentially $1 million a week, and he cannot consistently score more than a touchdown and get over 200 yards passing in a game. And I know right now, yeah, we got the win against the Patriots, but my biggest concern with the Jaguars right now is there is just no confidence that Trevor Lawrence can go out there and ball out for 4 quarters. The second we get a lead in the second half, if we're up ahead more than 2 scores, we suddenly just become this, we got to run the clock out as fast as possible, hand the ball off 10, 12, 15, 17 times in a row, just so that we don't feel like we're going to lose the game. We just want the game to be over as fast as possible. Instead of actually putting the pedal to the metal, letting Trevor go out there and ball out for 4 quarters. Yeah, when there's 5 minutes left in the game, you're up 3 scores. Sure, you want to run the ball? Go ahead, run the ball. But you don't go with 3 minutes left in the third quarter and start running every play of a drive and then get down to a 4th and 1 in your own red zone and then not convert, because at some point they're going to go, well, if they're just going to run it every play, we're going to stop the run. And then what happens also, and this is exactly what happened in the game, is then you do get to a situation somewhere in the middle of the fourth quarter, and suddenly now you've got Trevor having to make a 3rd down completion, and he's cold. He's become cold because he hasn't thrown a ball in 30 minutes. It's bad coaching, in my opinion. That is a bad coaching move, and that is something that I just can't stand. Now, I don't have a problem with them going for it on 4th and 1, especially with the way they are running the ball. But the idea of if it's not broken, don't fix it, I get that. But you have to have some variety. If you're going to do 6 runs in a row, you got to throw in a pass at some point. Something, a play action, something. Because otherwise, they are eventually going to stop you running the ball. There's no way in hell an NFL caliber team is going to let somebody march down on a 17-play drive and run the ball every play. It's just not going to happen. And the fact that somebody in the Jaguars, coaching staff thought that was what they were going to do for that entire drive is not only disrespectful to the Patriots, but it's stupid. It's just stupidity because you need reps on these guys. These guys are not that good. You're not the Chiefs. You're not the 49ers. You're not the Eagles. Like, you need reps right now. You need to get Trevor Lawrence some confidence. You need to get this receiving core some confidence. So it's aggravating to me that Trevor Lawrence I'll have to look later and maybe I'll make it on a different video, that Trevor Lawrence cannot seem to get more than a touchdown in under 200 yards almost every game. Now, with the exception of the game against the Colts, but you look at the game last week, Caleb Williams threw for 4 touchdowns and 350 yards, man. We need that kind of performance from Trevor Lawrence. And I know people are going to say, well, Tank Bigsby looks good. I get it. I'm not trying to take away from Tank Bigsby. But you got to get Trevor going, man. You just cannot leave him for a whole quarter to not do anything. It's just stupidity in my opinion. So that's my biggest rant from the game today, because otherwise I'm still happy we won the game, but it's the Patriots. You almost have to try to lose against the Patriots right now. They're not a good team. They have a lot of new pieces and pieces that are still figuring out their identity. You should win this game. But it shouldn't even be the chance of you go down on a 17-play drive, running the ball every play, and then you give it back to them, and Drake May goes down in 2 minutes and scores. Because I looked at it and I said, you got to be kidding me. They're going to come down here and put this game into a chance. If they would have just kicked the field goal, it would have been a one-score game at that point. And to be honest, you look at the punt return for the touchdown, that's the deciding factor. Because at that point, if they go down and get that in that 17-play drive and they go down and score, then suddenly it's a 1-point game there. So you can't just sit here and okay, Trevor has a touchdown and, we got a running touchdown and then we got a punt return touchdown, and now it's 21 or 24-10, something like that. You can't leave it at that and just go, okay, now we're just going to run the clock out, because that's just not enough. You have to learn how to score more than 30 points with your offense, not just special teams, because you're not going to get a 95-yard punt return every game. That's not going to happen. You have to know how to go out there and actually put some points on the board as an actual team. So I'm not going to go too much farther about it. It's aggravating to me because I see that and I go, this is why the coaching is bad, because of decisions like this, because they're petrified of losing a game. And you look at that, and if you're petrified of losing to Drake fucking May, man, you guys got to get something going here. I'm proud you guys won, but man, you got to give Trevor Lawrence, the $55 million a year quarterback, some reps and get him out there performing. Get him out there getting 2-3 touchdown passes. I mean, Brian Thomas Jr. is out there. He's killing it. Tank Bigsby is killing it. And these guys aren't getting the money. There's no reason for you to rely on Tank Bigsby, the guy who's in his second year, barely making a quarter of what Trevor Lawrence is making right now. There's no reason for you to put that much work on him. Put the work on Trevor. Jesus Christ, people. Anyways, we'll keep going. Tank Bigsby, 26 rushes, 118 yards. Absolute domination from Tank Bigsby. So, I'm not complaining about him getting the reps. I want him to get the reps. But there's really no reason we should only give Trevor 20 passes and run the ball upwards of 40 times. It's just kind of silly to me. It just doesn't seem right when, again, the game is reliant on your quarterback play. You're not going to be able to run on some of these defenses. So if Trevor cannot get going and get his receivers into click on a regular basis and throw for 2, 3, 4 touchdowns a game, it's not going to work against some of these bigger offenses. So either way, Dearness Johnson had a pretty good game today, 40 yards rushing on 9 rushes. Trevor had a couple runs. They tried to get Brian Thomas on a couple end rounds, but just didn't work out there. Now, Brian Thomas Jr. on the other side, 5 catches, 89 yards. Really nice day. Evan Ingram, 5 catches, 35 yards. He was effective in his second game coming back, so I'm always happy to see that. Deontay Johnson, he had 3 catches for 32 yards. Christian Kirk had a catch. Gabe Davis had a catch, so I was pretty happy to see those guys all kind of spreading the ball around a little bit. But again, when Trevor only gets 15 completions out of the game, man, you got to get him throwing the ball more. I know these guys are just so that's what gets to me, is that when we get a lead, we suddenly just put our tail between our legs and hide and try not to just mess. We try not to mess up instead of just going and having fun and putting points on the board. It's football, man. Don't worry about that. Go try to score 40 points a game. Try to do that. And again, I'm not complaining about 32 points. We did that, but you take away the punt return and you take away some of the 4th and 26 that the Patriots had to make at the end of the game there. Like that ended up becoming a Tank Bigsby touchdown. But again, those are like free touchdowns. You take away those 14 points, we scored 18 points on offense. That's not going to win you games. Like that's the bad part. So anyways, and our defense didn't look great again. They're not looking terrible, but the first quarter, man, we looked really anemic. And then, we came out there and legitimately made some decent plays. We made Drake May, not get out there. I think we had 4 sacks. He was definitely rushed a little bit. He wasn't able to set his feet quite often. And then they just didn't have much of a run game, so that was nice. But yeah, Josh Hines Allen, man, he's getting on my nerves. He looks like he drank NyQuil before games. He looks tired. At least Trayvon Walker today earned his paycheck. That was nice. And yeah, I mean, again, happy that the Jaguars getting a win. It's just when I see this kind of product on the field and we got to go play the Green Bay Packers next week, I'm like, guys, I don't know where the connection is. Like, I know it's a week-to-week thing, but you guys got to have confidence going into these games. Like, you got to look at a team like the Patriots and go, bro, this is not even the same class of team we're playing right here. Because again, the Patriots aren't going into a game like playing the Chiefs or the 49ers or even, the Eagles or Minnesota. They got no chance. They know that they got no chance. But even then, we're talking about, what if the Jags lose to the Patriots? Like the fact that that's the agenda before these games, like that's on the team. That's on the coaches, the players, everybody. You guys got to learn to step up. You guys got to learn that this is an important thing right here. Like we're in an important stretch. Right now we are not halfway through the season, but just about to pass the halfway mark. And you can change everything now. If you were to win 8 out of these next games, 7 out of these next games even, it's like that suddenly puts you in a, 9-8 situation. So, the Jaguars can turn things around right now. We're not too far into the season just yet where it's point of no return. But first off, you got to win the games you got to win just like this. And then when you get into a close game like the Texans or something like that, man, or even first game of the year, the Miami Dolphins, you guys got to be able to close. That's why I don't like the 17 rushes, is because how many times have we lost a game because somebody fumbled because you're overworking them? Because you take the thing and just run with one style of play. You're not doing any gadgetry. You're not doing any big passes. Today we had that one big pass to Brian Thomas Jr. We need more of that. But you guys aren't relying on the pass game like you should. You guys are petrified that Trevor Lawrence isn't going to go out there and ball out. You got to let him do that. You got to let him cook. So that's the only, real concern I have with the team right now is whoever's play calling and whoever's writing these schemes. Once we get ahead, suddenly it is like white knuckle, just please God, don't let us lose this game, because then it just feels that way. It feels like we're cursed or something, and I can feel that from the coaches just by the play calling. So I want to see the confidence build, because people like right now, Tank Bigsby, man, you can't put the workload on him. This is his second year. Now, he is a great running back. He is looking awesome, and I have had the confidence in him lately over Travis Etienne. I think Travis, it may be time to move on from him. Travis is still good. I don't think Travis is like a bad running back, but he is not, a number one right now, in my opinion. He's just not a running back one. He's good. He's just not there. So yeah, I think it's just something you look at the team stats, for example, even, and it's not a blowaway. Other than rushing yards, we had 171 to their 38. Rushing yards were the one thing we blew them away on. But again, we rushed like 4 times as many rushes than they did. So you look at total yards, 295 to 364. Again, Drake May actually outplayed Trevor Lawrence on a quarterback scheme. Now he had to. And they were playing from behind a lot, but that's Drake May. It's his second game. He shouldn't be putting up bigger numbers than Trevor Lawrence, man. You guys got to let Trevor Lawrence get out there and cook, dude. Same thing, passing yards, 193 passing yards just isn't great for an NFL caliber team. You've got to be able to move the ball better than that. I don't know why we're so fixated on trying to establish the run and just lean on that. I guess because we just think if we can run and just waste 7, 8 minutes, 10 minutes on a drive and score, then we can't lose a game, which that's great and all, but there's bigger things in the NFL than just running out clock and trying not to lose. You got to go out there and win and be confident that you can win, because some of these games are going to be shootouts, especially with big teams that you can't stop. You got to be able to score just as much as they can. So, we did have we had 2 sacks, I should say, on Drake May, which is nice. They had more penalties, 7 penalties, and we did hold the ball an extra 5 minutes. 26-45 to 33-15. So again, not that much of a difference there. And total plays 54 to 59. We had 5 more plays than they did. And we had both the exact same amount of third down. They were 6 for 12. We had 6 for 10. We had more first downs. but it was actually a way closer game than it should be. Now, again, these are two 1-5 teams playing, and only one of them is going to come out of there. But you look at the Patriots as a rebuild, and again, you take away the punt return touchdown, it's way closer than it should have been. That's the whole point. And now I'm happy. Again, I think Parker Washington's a great punt returner. I'm not complaining that we lost or that we won this game at all. I'm very happy as a Jags fan that we won this game. But again, I'm looking to the future here. I'm looking at the whole season. I sometimes feel like this team doesn't want to do that. They want to go one game at a time. The stupid cultural bullshit of you just got to chip away. And I get the idea of chipping away, but sometimes if you're chipping away without a bigger goal in mind, the little goals are minute. They don't make any difference. You know what I mean? Like if you win one game this week just because you focused on a couple things you weren't doing right last week, well, you got to keep them growing and getting better next week too. And if the next week's team is exponentially better than what you focused on this week, then you're just going to lose anyways. And then it's going to be frustrating because all this work that you're putting in to get progress is still coming down short because you're not making enough progress. So we've got to figure that part of the game out to where we can go out there and work on the things we really need to work on. We need to work on establishing big plays, get Trevor Lawrence a little bit more energy. And I know right now the running game has been a big focus because we don't know where it's going to be here soon, but just take Tank, let Tank cook. Tank is doing fine, and start to work him into the offense and let Trevor Lawrence get out there. Right now, BTJ is the number one rookie receiver. You got Christian Kirk finally catching passes. Evan Ingram's back. Like, let the offense cook. It's just you guys got to start spreading the ball around. You think Andy Reid's going to run the ball 17 times in a row? Fuck no. Fuck no. Like, no. He will never do that. And he's got Isaiah Pacheco, dude. Like, I mean, he doesn't right now, but he's got Kareem Hunt. But no, he's going to put the ball in his quarterback's hands because that's the guy on the team that he trusts the most to go out and win the game. Not to not lose the game, but to win the game. So I think going forward, we go up against Green Bay this week. One, the defense has got to step up. Ryan Nielsen really got to make the defense have an impact this week because that dude fucking cannot coach the defense for anything. They play soft. They don't play with a lot of energy. They don't make plays. I mean, we dropped like 2 or 3 interceptions this game. Andre Sisco had one literally in his hands. It's like we got to make those plays, and I think that's a statement to say if our defensive players can't make these plays and they can't stop the Patriots of all people on some of these drives, especially at the end of the game, man, we have a trend of just letting people go off, playing prevent, and not attacking. And it's silly to me that I'm like, you got to play 4 quarters and attack for 4 straight quarters. You can't just go out there and leave, all this padded room, play behind the first down. That's one thing I really see. You got that yellow line on the field, man. People playing behind the first down marker and just letting people get the first downs before they get them. And I'm like, I get it. You're just trying not to give up the big play. But, dude, you guys just got to step up. Just man up. Just buckle down and be fucking tough. Like, stop being so soft about things and playing so scared. Like, you guys are so scared to lose that it really shows in the play. For people like me who are watching this game and analyzing as we go and watching it going, man, like, same thing. Josh Allen had 2 offsides, like, back-to-back. Oh, my God. It's like, what are we doing, bro? Like, that's Josh Hines Allen. He's supposed to be a beast. He's out there got to get offsides just to get any kind of pressure on fucking Drake May on the Patriots. Like, come on. Like, it's garbage. So we got to step that stuff up. We really got to get some energy and some life, and we got to start looking like we want to have fun on that field. Like, we want to go out there, put up points, play for each other. It's got to be that. It's got to be that for the Jags. Because right now, I think Tank is right now the guy who's giving a spark to this team. Tank is out there playing because he's got something to put. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He wants a place in the NFL. He's new to the game. He loves the game still. Same with Brian Thomas Jr. Those 2 guys, they're young. They are new to this. This is fun for them, even with a losing record. They haven't lost their belief. They don't believe in any kind of weird culture behind the Jaguars being a losing team, having a small market. None of that matters to those guys. So just let that translate to Trevor. Let that translate to the coaches. Go out there, ball out, and hopefully we can make some actual progress the rest of the season. But it starts next week with Green Bay because it's going to be a tough game. If we end up having any kind of chance to play or win that game, it's got to come down to us, really sticking together as a team and going out there taking some chances. I mean, I remember when Doug's first year too, man, he was faking punts and doing all kinds of stuff. It just feels like that's all gone out the window. Like, he's so scared of losing his job, or that Shad Khan's just going to be pissed off, or that he's going to have some meetings. So, like, I like Doug. I think Doug's a cool coach, but he's got to get less desperate and go out there and just, well, it is what it is, man. Just go out there and play. So I appreciate y'all stopping by. I think the Jaguars do have a chance next week as long as we can get back and get some good practices this week. people are healthy. I think we're focusing on the right thing. And same thing. It's kind of like the Travis Etienne situation. I like Travis Etienne as a person. He's an awesome dude. But I've been saying it all year. He wasn't the number one running back. I don't know why we're so persistent on sticking by something that's not working. So we really, and that goes today. Like again with the running game, 17 rushes in a row is ridiculous. Like again, it's not that it's not working. It's that it's not going to work forever. You have to figure out a better method to spread the ball around. I mean, I was just watching the Pittsburgh game here, and Russell Wilson's still throwing the ball with 7 minutes left. They're up like 30-something to 14. Like, it's the same thing. They're still throwing the ball down the field. You have to do that, man. It's just, that's what you have to do. That's why the Bucs look good. That's why Minnesota looks good. That's why the Kansas City Chiefs look good. The Ravens look good. Like, nobody's going to sit there and run the ball 17 times just because they're scared to lose the game. Like, you can't do that. You can't put that energy out there. You guys got to go out there and just keep balling out, keep putting your foot on their throat, and just go. So hopefully next week we get that across. We actually take some chances, take Jordan Love away from the game, because otherwise people like Romeo Doubs and Jaden Reed, they are going to eat us alive on defense. So we got to be able to put up points, and it's not going to be from Tank Bigsby getting 2 touchdowns because we just keep handing the ball off to him. I mean, our offensive line looks good, but it's got to be from the receivers, Trevor Lawrence and Tank as a whole. It can't just be 1 or 2 pieces. It's got to be the whole. So anyways, we look good today. At least we got 1 win out of the London trip. Usually we have a little bit of a ride on the kind of the high from that after we get back. So hopefully that'll translate to next week. And we'll see going into November after next week. I think next week's the last game in October. So we'll see what the Jaguars can do. But I appreciate y'all stopping by. I didn't have a video last week. I was really busy with some music stuff. Caleb Williams whooped our ass. So, and I still think he's a bust personally, but he's got a good team around him, and he played a bad Jaguars team that kind of had some quit in him. So, it was nice to see us not quit today, but it felt like the coaches quit and they just wanted to play as conservative as possible to not lose the game, which is, hey, we didn't lose the game. So thank you for not completely throwing the game away, but you guys got to figure out a way to play with energy and fire and play calling till the last minute of the game and really put it away. So maybe we'll figure that out this week going into Green Bay now that we have some momentum. And that's all I can hope for right now, but I'm interested to see some people's videos this week. And again, I appreciate y'all stopping by. I haven't made a Noel video in a while, so I'm going to try and make another Seminole video because we are absolutely god-awful, losing to Duke, for example. So I just don't even know where to start with the Noel, so I've been just going to the Jaguars. I've been busy, too, the last couple weeks, just a lot of music stuff. But I appreciate y'all stopping by. As always, please hit the subscribe button down below. It helps the channel get into the algorithm. And, Duval till we die, baby. So Jaguars got a lot of season left. We got some things to fix. But as long as we can make uphill progress, could definitely make a statement to end the season. We started the season bad. We don't have to finish that way. So I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.